How do I change the world? With this gun in my hand.
Inaudible hero by virtue of the fact that he carries a gun. Falk Zildjian patrols the southwest corner of Gristle Park. Winter is finally fading, and people are enjoying the warmer spring weather. 3 children play keep-away with a rubber kickball. A woman with a small monkey on a leash stands just off the sidewalk, cranking a tune on a hurdy-gurdy. On another stretch of sidewalk, a vendor calls out the wares displayed in his cart.
Peanuts, popcorn,
Falk strides...
hot pie, apples,
Falk...
flowers, wind-up toys. Peanuts.
Falk strides around the perimeter of the park, scanning the people around him.
Good morning. You're Falk Zildjian, aren't you?
Yes.
It looks as though you're searching for someone. Might I assist you?
No, thank you, citizen. I'm looking for a dangerous criminal. I wouldn't want you to get hurt if a gunfight or altercation breaks out.
Peanuts, popcorn. Well, you could describe who you're looking for, and I can call out to you if I see him.
It's not a him, it's her. Have you heard of this woman the newspapers are calling Fire Escape?
I can't say as I have. Is she an escape artist with superpowers related to fire?
No, she was a regular gal, a mild-mannered construction worker. One day she was walking to work when the springs on an old fire escape staircase gave way and hit her on the head.
Heavens! I've heard that a traumatic experience can unleash unknown forces or chemicals in the body, permanently altering that person. Did this event make her 10 times stronger or faster?
10 times angrier. Some unimaginative reporter gave her the name Fire Escape because of the weapon she uses. She tore off a length of that metal stairway and wanders around clobbering people with it. That's why I always tell people, pick a good name for yourself, or somebody else will give you one you hate.
I will certainly raise the alarm if I see her.
Thanks. There have also been reports around the city of a dull gray airship cruising at low altitude, possibly weighed down with too much cargo or too many passengers. Don't worry about that, though. We'll leave that for one of the city's flying heroes to investigate.
Quite right. Well, if I don't see you again, have a blessed day.
Right, you too. Wait, are you...
Just then, a gust of wind blew through the park.
Has that hurdy-gurdy broken down? The woman operating it hasn't moved away, but it's much quieter now. Come to think of it, those kids and the vendor aren't yelling like they were. What could have prompted them to get quiet? Whatever it is frightened the birds, too. What scared you, pigeon? You don't mind strutting right past me, but you're not cooing.
I'm surprised you haven't figured it out yet, Falk Zildjian.
Figured what out? Now you I definitely remember.
They call me...
Don't tell me. I almost have it. Just a sec. They call you hissing sibilance.
The whispering wind.
Whispering wind, right. You soothe people to sleep with whispers, and then you control their mind. So you're back for another round, eh? I can't remember if I had you locked up the last time we met. If we have to go through it again, we can.
Oh, no. We're not repeating all of that.
I'm glad to hear you've changed your ways.
No, using my powers on one person at a time was too limited. I've set my sights much higher now.
You're going to bore more people to sleep by broadcasting fingernail tinkling sounds over the radio?
No, you're still thinking too limited. I recently found out that the Emerald Ash Borer tried to cash in on ASMR a few years ago.
Remind me what that stands for. Automatic Sasquatch Munchausen regulation?
Autonomic sensory mind rendition. It's a reflexive reaction to certain subtle sounds. Soothing sounds that put people to sleep and put them under my spell. Ash Borer tried to record the usual whispering, lip-smacking, candle flame sounds, but he didn't like the results. So his faithful Filipino valet Castro developed a muting gas. It's non-toxic, but it thickens the air and muffles sound waves. When it's deployed in a room or small area, all sounds become quiet and cause an ASMR effect. You wouldn't hear me right now if I wasn't shouting at the top of my lungs.
That man I was talking to with the beard and the bronze chest plate, and I never understood why wings were part of his costume. Is that your sidekick, Mukbang?
He's not my sidekick or my partner or my lover. He is Blessed Day, my associate.
He's patting his throat. It's the universal pantomime for choking. If only there was some maneuver I could perform to clear his airway.
He's not choking. Move closer and you'll be able to hear him. Blessed Day received a heavy dose of muting gas early in the process of our experimentation. Sometimes it hits him harder. He'll be fine.
I feel better now. Please continue, my dear. You were talking about ash.
Oh yes, the gas was effective, but Emerald Ash Borer never used it. If you ask me, he hates the sound of his own voice. So the muting gas sat on a shelf in the Emerald Ash Borer's gallery for quite some time, until I stole it.
You keep calling it muting gas. Will it cause mutations?
No. Why is everyone so obsessed with mutants lately? Never mind, it's that new nostalgic radio show, J-Men 1897.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
We'll return to Falk's ignorance after this message.
In 1936, a crack squad of American volunteers in the Spanish Civil War captured an Italian bomber. I forget what the different sides of the war were called, but these American airmen used it to bomb the bad guys. Now you're going to ask exactly what kind of bomber they captured. I don't know, it was one of those, what do you call them? Savoia Marchetti SM-79 Sparviero. Accused of a crime they didn't commit, they were convicted by a military court. They promptly escaped from a maximum security stockade into the Parabellum City underground. Today, still wanted by the government, they eke out a living as soldiers of fortune. If you have a problem that you want bombed, if no one else can help, and if you can find them, maybe you can hire the Grounded Crew. That name wasn't very intimidating, so they changed it to the A-Frame. I guess because they were framed? An A-frame is a kind of house, right? What's that got to do with flyboys? Maybe there was an A in the name of the bomber they used? No, it's an SM-79. I don't know. Oh, right, because it was an Italian bomber. Hey, why you stealing my plane, huh?
We now return to World of Whispers, episode 101 of This Gun in My Hand.
If you'll excuse me, I've secreted one of your American Red Hots in my pocket, purchased from that vendor's cart while he was still audible. Delicious.
Your hypnotic mouth noises won't work on me, Mukbang.
I had no intent to use my powers of gusto on you, Zildjian. It's just that I missed breakfast.
I thought you and Whispering Wind were rivals.
It turns out he's susceptible to my ASMR techniques, but I'm immune to his, so I've taken him under my control.
I never knew how much I'd love being a henchman. There is glory in this, too.
I remember the story about you inventing some seed and dirt blasting airgun which became the basis of your name, Peep Boom, or Mukbang. But your new name has nothing to do with your powers of gusto. Why did you change it to Blessed Day?
I don't know why, but I love it.
Could we please get back to the revelation of my plan? That commercial really killed my momentum.
By all means, love, do continue.
Where was I? My previous MO was to perform ASMR sounds for one person at a time, putting them to sleep and under my control. I can accomplish it on a much larger scale by using this perfume spray bottle to disperse muting gas. The only downside is I can't generate enough to fill the entire world, and it blows away in the slightest breeze. But for now you live... Hey, but for now you live in a world of whispers!
Who was that wag? What is he doing?
Ignore him. He's a masked troublemaker who calls himself the Titleist. He jumps into radio plays and shouts the line where the title of the episode was worked into the dialogue. Then he runs away.
I can't catch a break today. Anyway, humanity will experience ASMR around the clock. The whole world will conform to my ASMR lifestyle.
The muting gas doesn't seem very powerful. That hurdy-gurdy and a few other things have been muffled, but I can still hear the two of you fine.
Oh, yes? Well, look around. Did you know there was a gunfight happening 20 feet behind you?
What?
They've been trading fire for the last 5 minutes and you hadn't noticed.
That's incredible. It sounds like they're using silencers or sound suppressors, but I see two of them using revolvers. Everybody knows silencers have no effect on revolvers because of gaps around the cylinder that allow air and sound to escape.
Actually, that is a myth. There are varieties of gas seal revolver which block propellant gases from escaping around the cylinder, such as the Nagant M1895.
I know, but it holds true as a general rule for most revolvers. Those revolvers don't look like Nagants or other gas seal types.
No, I don't believe so. They appear to be Saturday evening specials.
I hate to miss out on a firefight. Who are those guys anyway? Cops and robbers, I guess? They can probably handle it.
And look how close that gray airship is as it passes overhead.
It seems to have blotted out the sun.
It's barely 50 feet above us. We should be able to hear its propellers and motors from this distance, but we're enveloped by the muting gas.
What kind of airship is that? I can't tell if it has a rigid internal framework or not.
What's the difference?
If it doesn't have one, it's a blimp. If it does, it would be a zeppelin.
And another example of how effective the muting gas is. Grappling or struggling with other people is a whole new experience. Blessed day, take hold of Falk Zildjian so that he can't move.
With pleasure.
Keep your hands off me, you winged monkey.
Had enough yet, Zildjian?
Yeah, you proved your point. So what are you accomplishing by reducing the world to whispers? I don't see people falling asleep or coming under your control.
I'm just thrilled to share this experience with more people, even if it doesn't put them all under my control. Don't you hate when your thoughts are disrupted by loud cars? Especially the ones with phonograph records or shortwave wireless receivers inside, blaring their farm reports and their hot syncopated music.
Yeah, you got me on that one. I do hate that.
Get out of my way!
Who is that strapping young woman wielding a rusty spear?
That's not a rusty spear. That's the side of a metal stairway. And her name is Fire Escape.
She was able to sneak up on us because her shouts were muted. Drat! Keep back, woman!
Don't tell me what to do!
Oh!
Now, dear, listen to the sound of my fingernails on this, empty tin can. Naturally, when I need it the most, the only can at hand is full of chili. Oh!
What's happening? I can't hear anything! The world is dying!
No, it's getting better now. You've solved the problem.
What do you mean?
You solved it by swinging your rusty stairs at everyone and knocking out the main culprit. You set it down right on top of her.
How can you tell it's getting better?
Listen closely. Listen for the wind. If you can hear something as quiet as the wind, then the gas must be wearing off.
I don't hear it. Wait. Yeah, maybe.
Dear lady, can you hear the wind blow? And did you know? Your stairway lies on the whispering wind.
I don't get it.
World of Whispers, episode 101 of This Gun in My Hand, was breathed out by Rob Northrup. All episodes are available on YouTube with automatically generated closed captions of dialogue. Visit thisguninmyhand.blogspot.com for credits, show notes, archives, and to buy my books, such as Little Heist in the Big Woods and Other Revisionist Atrocities. What keeps people quiet? This gun in my hand.